Welcome to the video, and today I'm talking about the hedge strategy for showdown modes, how to play it. Um, this is a very large field. I think it was like the 10-cent arcade with like 100,000 plus people. So I had to figure out ways to be different and ways to give me an edge. Got real close to taking this one down, 17.72 first. So the strategy did work. I made 6 lineups. 4 didn't cash, but 2 did cash. And the 2 that did cash was enough to make me profitable on the day. Um, so my mindset going into this tournament was to hedge against Dalvin Cook ownership. I did assume that Dalvin Cook was going to be the highest owned player. I didn't take a hard fade on Dalvin Cook. I played Dalvin Cook, I think, in like 1 or 2 of my 6 entries. But I worked on hedging against the Dalvin Cook ownership. So as you can see here, I had Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, and Kyle Rudolph. Because if I was going to go under the assumption that Dalvin Cook was going to be high owned, how do I leverage? Well, I leverage with the quarterback and the pass catchers to go against the chalk. Because if Dalvin Cook has a bad game, it is safe to assume that the pass catchers will have a good game. So this lineup um, finished in 1,000th place. Really hit on everything but null in this lineup. Um, did a good job leveraging the field. Kirk Cousins only in 5% of the captain spots, so I got leverage on 95% of the field. Um, Justin Jefferson was high owned. The rest of my pieces here were high owned, but having Cousins in that captain spot where 95% of the field didn't really gave this lineup a positive boost. And then my other lineup that did well had Justin Jefferson in the captain spot. Only 6% of the field had Jefferson in the captain spot with Cousins and Thielen. I rounded this lineup out with Rudolph, and then I had Mooney and Nall. Mooney really disappointed me here. I thought Mooney would have a better game going against this Chicago defense. Nall didn't do much either, but so much of the field was on them, it didn't really tank me. But again, leveraging that high Dalvin Cook ownership gave both of these lineups a boost, got me into a high enough ceiling to really have a shot at first place. Now, if you look at my other 4 lineups, these lineups get ugly. I had Allen Robinson in the captain spot with Foles, Mooney, and Patterson. I figured if everybody was going to go on the Viking side of the ball, I should have some exposure to a Nick Foles stack, but this lineup burnt. This one I had Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook was owned in 79% of the lineup, so even if he did go off, this lineup really wouldn't have gotten me high up on the leaderboard. I brought that lineup back with pretty much all the pass catchers on the Bears, because I'm under the assumption that if Cook is having a good game, then some of these pass catchers will be having a good game, because if Cook is having a bad game, and that means the Bears are behind and need to throw the ball, which opens up more for these pass catchers. Again, the same type of thing here. Robinson in the captain with all the pass catchers. This one, you get to see I had Mattison in this lineup. Mattison, if Mattison has like a touchdown or two. That's another touchdown that's not going to Dalvin Cook. So Mattison was a leverage play off Dalvin Cook. For every handoff Mattison got, that's another handoff Cook isn't getting, and that helps me leverage the field. Didn't work out there, but at 2,000, I think Mattison was worth a shot. This is the craziest lineup. Had Mattison in the captain spot for 3,000. Again, trying to get as much leverage off the Cook ownership as I could. Just threw Mattison in the captain spot because, again, for every handoff he gets, that's a handoff that Dalvin Cook isn't getting. I was kind of hoping Mattison could waltz his way into the end zone, but it didn't work. So yeah, this was a hedge strategy that I used. I was willing to let most of my lineups burn. So I figured out where the chalk was going. The chalk was going to Dalvin Cook. So I thought of all the ways I could hedge and get an edge on the Dalvin Cook ownership. And for everybody who faded Dalvin Cook, you got rewarded for it to some capacity. The lineup up top had 107. He had Thielen in the captain spot with Cousins and Jefferson. He had Cordell Patterson, which was a good one-off, and Kyle Rudolph. So he hedged against the Dalvin Cook ownership with all of the Minnesota pass catchers. Brought it back with the Bears defense, doing a quadruple stack of the Vikings with the Bear defense was an absolutely bonkers lineup to make. This isn't a lineup that I would have come across. This might have been the Vikings defense, but I can't say that it's wrong because this man took first. Nobody was on the Bears defense. But hedging a defense against a quadruple stack is absolutely crazy to me. Not the way I would have done it. Yeah, the groups that I made were there to hedge against the Dalvin Cook ownership, which really paid off here. It gave me a shot at first, which gives me confidence in my process moving forward, doing large field stuff in showdown mode. I did have a Dalvin Cook lineup, but that didn't work out. So here we are. So yes, this is a hedge strategy. I didn't think about statistics or player stats or any of that. I just thought, who's going to be the highest guy? How do I hedge against it? How do I block? And this is a lineup that gave me a shot, and we're going to continue to use this strategy moving forward in trying to get as many throws at top as possible. So even though I didn't cash in a majority of my lineups, like 40% of my lineups really just tanked, the two that I had were good enough to have a good day. And I'm happy with this strategy, and I'm happy with how this all turned out. So thank you all for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, give it a thumbs down. Tell me how I could do better in the comment section below. And I'll see you on the next one.